Sure. All right. Thank you for joining us today. As you can see, we have a special guest, Dr. Russell Jaffe, owner, founder, and creator of Perk Integrative Health. And for those of you that are new to the show, Perk Integrative Health is the beautiful marriage of Perk Nutraceuticals and ELISA Act Biotechnologies, home of the LRA by ELISA Act test. My name is Melissa Crispell, and I'm here to guide you through this information and inspiration session with Dr. Jaffe. Thank you, Dr. Jaffe, for being with us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Dr. Jaffe, this question comes from one of our viewers, and she says, I know I overeat at meals, but I can't help it. If I limit my portions, I'm hungry an hour later. How can I avoid overeating and have better control of my appetite? P.S. I'm 5'6" and weigh more than 220 pounds.
Well, thank you for the question, and here is the opportunity. First of all, start every meal with something wet and warm. It could be a broth. It could be warm water with a squeeze of lemon or lime juice. It could be apple cider vinegar diluted into chamomile tea. But start every meal with something wet and warm, and savor it and sip it. Then stay hydrated. Now, in my case, I always have water, either sparkling or, in my case, spring water, well water. But I also like Prosecco at a certain point in time as a beverage, but I savor it as a food. Then eat half of what you want and pause. Take a few minutes to relax, to breathe deeply, to feel gratitude for whatever has gone well today. Maybe bring back a positive memory of something that this meal evokes. And now, be sure you're eating the foods that you can digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden, and that are high satiety. These are the foods that easily swell up and cause bulk in your digestive tract. Now let me tell you a secret. It's an open secret, but it is kind of a secret to many people, and that is many people in the situation you described. They eat more than they need, and if they try to be more moderate, within a couple of hours, they're not just hungry, they're ravishingly hungry. Very often, what their body is calling for is ascorbate vitamin C, and they think they need sugar and food. It turns out that people are one of only 3 species on the entire planet that does not convert sugar, glucose, into vitamin C, into ascorbate. And so we've had many people who have had food cravings, hyperactive fork, polyphagia. There's a lot of words that are, I think, afflicted. And many of these folks have reported spontaneously that when they do the C cleanse and take in the Perk Potency Guard based on the C cleanse, and maybe some other Perk fundamental nutrients like Perk Lifeguard to keep your urine sunshine yellow, checking urine pH, and having the Perk Mag Plus Guard and choline citrate in proportion to what the urine pH is after rest, including the polyphenolics such as Perk Repair Guard, maybe including a Perk MDP Guard, because carnitine, especially carnitine fumarate, carnitine is the shovel that brings the fat fuel to the furnace of the cell. So if you want to burn fat and be more lean, then Perk MDP Guard, for sure, at least 1 twice a day, is your friend. So I suspect that if I knew you better, we would find associations between eating and stress. And you're not alone. I learned patterns of eating early in my life when I was young and immortal that were stressful once I became a witness to my life, and once I began to breathe more, to relax more, to be active in meditation or in relaxation response practice or prayer, I was able to see that when I was under stress, I went for food. I didn't eat because I needed to eat. I ate. I I ate because I wanted relief from a certain stress. And if I just got a sugar high, if I just got nutrients flooding into my body, even if they were processed, even if they would become excitotoxic, even if they were immune reactions that were going to cause me distress, I was doing the best I knew. So it is maybe worth reflecting through Ira Progoff's intensive journal or any of the self-care logs, ways of jotting down associations between hunger and need. Maybe what I need is a hug, but I don't have anybody that is available to hug me, so I'm going to go get a donut and a cup of coffee. Maybe what I need is to move around and breathe deeply for a few minutes to recharge myself so that my focus and concentration can come back. Or I can go get a candy bar and a cup of tea, or a candy bar and a cup of coffee. So I've tried to indicate that folks in your situation are many. Folks in your situation want solutions, deserve them, and I think can find them, but not in the conventional places. If you change your mind and change your habits, if you change your daily practices. For example, when I was most active with my meditation teacher, Bhante, he said and meant that we would do one thing at a time. And if we were eating, we didn't talk. If we were eating, we concentrated on each moment's gustatory delight, and as best one could, would breathe and think little, if at all, beyond the direct experience of the moment. It's a way of teaching us to stay in the moment. And I will share with you one of the things he shared with me, which is a classic Buddhist understanding, and that is, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. It's much more health promoting to live in the moment and in the present. And yes, it's quite okay to make peace with the past. In fact, it's important to do that. It's quite okay to have plans for the future. But it's even more okay to stay in the moment. And instead of eating to live, you live to eat, but eating in ways that renew, support our resilience, our joy of living, a lean body, and a lean mind, which means what some people call, looking with fresh eyes, or beginner's mind. In my phase of life, I'm doing more of that and enjoying it quite a lot. As some of you know, I was 65 pounds heavier a few years ago. I found how to eat differently and lose the weight. And it did take about a year before my leptin hormone stopped raging. And leptin is the hormone that tells you to go eat. But I'm glad to tell you that my markers have all responded favorably, that I'm functioning at a much younger age, that my restorative sleep is better, so I get out of bed eager for the day. And part of that is that I eat what my body needs for fuel. And I do my best at this point to compress my calories into about 6 hours. so that for 18 hours, my digestion can restore, renew, and rehabilitate. So there are lots of ways of improving our habits of daily living, especially around food for farm to table and personal habits.
Thank you.